I wanted to release this brief video to talk about PipDroid, as well as explain some of the main features of the app. The original idea for PipDroid was to be a fun little project to work on, specifically for Fallout cosplays, adding that extra little touch of realism to both the Pip-Boy 3000 from the Fallout 4 Special Edition and the Pip-Boy 2000, the One Company Edition. Until now, the main Pip-Boy app you could use was the one released with Fallout 4, which sadly is currently not on the Play Store, and I personally always felt that it didn't have enough features for what I wanted, along with the fact that I've always enjoyed the Pip-Boy 3000 Mark III interface more. Since our last update video, PipDroid has been fixed and filled with many new features, allowing for deeper customizations. And finally, after a lot of work, PipDroid is currently in closed beta on the Google PlayStore, getting it that one step closer to a public release. This video will be divided into different chapters, one for each of the menus, stats, items and data, and submenus, status, special, skills, etc. So first up, stats status. This is one of the first things you see when you open the app, an iconic view of the Pip-Boy 3000 Mark III interface. On this screen, you can see your character's basic information, player name, level, health, number of stimpaks, etc. One of the newest features on this submenu is the damaging and healing feature, where you can now damage your player and then heal him up with stimpaks. Whenever you press and hold a health container for 1 second or longer, it will hurt your player. Get hurt enough and you'll see the typical damage expressions. Hurting too bad, simply press the damaged limb to use a stimpak and heal right up. It's also on this submenu where you can find the rad and effect menus, where you can see your current rad levels and status effects. Stats, special and skills. Featuring all original text and icons from the games, these two submenus have also been updated. Thanks to a great idea from Darian from the Robco Industries Discord group, you can now personalize your special and skill levels to customize them to your liking, truly making the player character your own. Stats, perks. A collection of perks from both Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. We hope to add even more perks in future releases. Stats, general. On this submenu, you can see the many different factions throughout both games, along with their reputation levels. On this same submenu, you can find the Stats Settings menu, where you can customize specific settings inside the app, and also change to other menus. We'll come back to the settings menu later. Items, weapons, apparel, aid, misc, and ammo. On these submenus, you can find some iconic items from both Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. We hope to add even more items in future updates of the app. In the misc submenu, we can return to the settings menu. Data, local map. Another new feature for PipDroid is the local map module, where you can now look around our local map of the world. This feature uses internet access, where, if for whatever reason your device doesn't have internet enabled, it will show as such in an in-world way. Data, world map. The world map for both Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas have finally been finished, now showing all locations from both games. When you zoom in and click on a specific location, the name of the location will show up. Data, quests and misc. These submenus show some of the quests and notes found throughout Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. We also hope to add even more in future updates. Data, radio. The radio features have been worked on, fixing issues with background music, allowing you to continue listening to your favorite Fallout radio or even custom radio while using other apps. The custom radio, as shown as the previous version, allows the user to play music stored on their local phone. You can also find the clock option on this submenu. For those of you looking for a substitute for the Fallout 3 alarm clock Pip-Boy from the Survival Edition, or simply want an always-on display piece, this option is certainly for you. Looking at you, Jeromy. Settings. Player name and level settings allow you to personalize your character details. Custom Radio MP3 folder. This new feature allows you to configure the folder where your custom radio will look for MP3 files. By default, it will look in the default music folder on Android phones. Here's an example if you wanted a specific folder. Screen resize. For those of you who wish to use this app with the Pip-Boy 3000 from the Fallout 4 Special Edition, you can use this option to set the size of the interface to fit inside of the screen. Here we have an example. This option also allows anyone making their own 3D printed Pip-Boy, or even using the Spirit of Halloween version, to adjust the screen however they need to. World map scaling. Due to every phone having different screen sizes and resolutions, sometimes the world map icons don't show up in the correct locations. To fix this, we've added a simple scaling value. Just simply modify this value until the locations appear in the correct spots. Here are some of the values that we've had to implement on our test Android phones. Date formats. For those of you who prefer specific date formats on their devices, this option is for you. Looking at you, Vinz. Inside of the data menu in the top right corner, you'll see the updated date in the format chosen. UI color. With these options, you can choose to load the PipDroid interface in the color of your choosing, between the options from the original Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas games. Green, amber, white, or blue. Bluetooth setup. As shown in our previous update, the PipDroid app can be connected to an ESP32 device, allowing you to change menus without actually going through the settings menu, adding an extra level of realism to Pip-Boy cosplays. For a more detailed explanation on how you can implement this with an ESP32 board, check out my The RPF post where I'll explain the code used and ways to implement it. Last but not least, a little nod to the Fallout community. When in any of the three menus, stats, items, or data, when you press and hold the top left title text, the flashlight will be turned on, for when you need the extra visibility out there in the wasteland. To turn it off, simply press and hold the screen again. So there you have it, a full rundown of PipDroid as a version 2.0.11. I've truly enjoyed this project, but still feel there's so much we can add to it. So that being said, if any of you has any feedback or possible features you can think of implementing, please leave a comment, I'll certainly look into it. And finally, for those of you who don't listen to the YourGeekFix podcast, you should. Both Jeromy and I will be visiting Goodsprings out in Vegas this November. So if you're there, please come up and say hi. I hope by then PipDroid will be publicly available and that some of you will be sporting it around. And if you do, please come and show me because it will really make my day. So yeah, thanks to all of you and I'll see you later.